Hey there. So today I'm going to be covering three different ways that you can set up an under construction page on Squarespace. So if you're like me and you're anxious to get your website live, even though you might not have all your content ready yet, or you're going through a redesign, you can set up an under construction page. And I just recently transferred my website from WordPress to Squarespace actually. So now I want to be able to send my previous website visitors to an under construction page so they know that my site is currently being redesigned. So if you go to my live website right now, actually, tylerzipper.com, up here, you'll see that this is the page that will be showing up. And obviously this isn't very professional. It's not a good representation of my brand. So I want to set up a construction page so that people know what's going on and just to build some excitement for my new website to come. So I'm going to go over three different ways that you can set this up. The first way being modifying your lock screen. In order to do this, once you're in Squarespace, we're going to go to Design. I'm going to click on Lock Screen. And you'll be brought to a new section here where you can pick a different layout along with some different messaging to set up your lock screen. So wait a second for this to pop up. So they give you about 5 to 6 different layouts to modify your lock screen. I'm just going to stick with this one right here. You can go in then and update the different branding. So you can change the heading if you want to. Change this header. And then any other text you want to include about your site. One thing about going this route is in order to make it live, we'll go back here and we'll go into settings. We're just going to want to make sure that we change our site visibility from private over to password protected. So give that a password, save it, and then we'll go back over to my site here and we'll refresh this page. And you'll see now that your lock screen is showing. It'll have this password section down here, so that way, like say you are working on this website with a client or you want to share it with friends or family, you could send them here and you can give them access to your site inside of it with that password. So that is way one, and that is modifying your lock screen. The second way to set up an under construction page is just by adding a regular page to your website. So to do this, we'll go into the Pages section. And you'll see here that I already have one set up, but in order to do this, you would just go into the plus and add a page here. But I'll go into the page that I already have set up. You know, if you want to go this route, or if you decide to go this route, this is mainly if you really want to customize under construction page. You know, you really want some cool detail and customization to it. Otherwise, you know, for under construction page, you normally don't need a lot. But as you can see here, so this is just a regular page. I put in a header here. Brand new website is coming. Just put in a little image here of a hammer and a wrench, letting people know that it's being worked on, and a short description about who I am and what this is. And then I also added a contact form in case anyone wants to get in touch with me while they visit this site. So if you go there and you click this form here, people can fill information and get in touch with you, and it'll be sent directly to your email address. One thing to note about this route is that you'll see these different pages up here in the navigation, and these are the pages that I'm currently working on right now. But obviously if you're working on this page, you don't want people to see all these other pages, so in order to get rid of that, there's two ways that you can handle that. You can either drag all of these pages to the non-linked section of your website, or maybe a better way to do it is just to go into each individual page and disable them. So if you do that here, just confirm it. And you'll see that about page header was removed. So I would just go through and do that for the rest of my pages on my site, and then you would just see a white blank slate up here. So, whoop. lost my page. So yeah, once you remove all these pages or disable them, it'll just be a nice white header with a logo here, and then the last thing to do in order to make it live would be to set it as your home page. So once I do that and confirm it, save it, and we'll refresh this page here. And here you have your under construction page as a regular page, minus the navigation items up here. One thing I did forget to mention, we'll go back over, just in order to make sure that your under construction page shows the regular page versus the lock screen, you just have to make sure to set your site visibility to public instead of password protected. The third and final way to set up an under construction page is by building a cover page. And this is my favorite way to build an under construction page. So in order to do this, once you're in the Pages panel in Squarespace, click plus here, and then we'll add a cover page. I already have them created, so I'm just going to show you that one. So this is somewhat similar to a lock page. It just gives you a few more options, customization options to build this under construction page. So again, you have different layout options for this page, along with some branding and text, media, some action items, as well as social icons and certain styling. So one thing to note is cover pages inherit different styling than your actual template. So if you want it to match what your website is going to look like, you'll have to update the styling on there. But yep, so again, you can go ahead and start by picking a layout. It has lots of different options depending on your business, what kind of work you do. But I'm going to stick with the one I have right now. And as you can see here, I have some text here, so I'll just walk you through each part of that and show you how that pops up. So here's a little header. This is where I just give them a notice that I have a new website. It's coming soon. I update the headline to just let them know a little bit about who I am and what I do, and then just a shorter description to dive deeper into my business and what's to come. So go back here and look at the media. So this is a place for you to add an image, or you can actually add a video background. I just put a picture of myself in here right now. If you want to add more images, you can, and it'll scroll through them in this particular cover page. Go back and check out some actions. So right now you'll see this contact form I have here. You can add another button if you want to. Say you want them to subscribe to a newsletter, or maybe you just want to give them your phone number, whatever kind of action you want people to take. You can either do that as a button. So I'll just type in a sample there to show you what that looks like. So that would look like a button, and then you could add a link to it, whether it's maybe your LinkedIn profile or a Facebook profile, whatever that might be. Or you can actually style it to look like a navigation item. So same thing here, just a little different style. And then if you scroll down a little bit more here, this is where you can actually configure it to be a form or a newsletter sign up itself. So here you can edit that form, pick the different fields that you want, and set up where you want those submissions to go to when someone visits this cover page. So we'll just save that. Head back. And then lastly, if you connect any social accounts to your Squarespace site, that's where those will pop in here. And then lastly, this is your styling, so you can adjust any fonts, colors, like I mentioned before, to match your previous template. And the last step to make this go live, go back into our pages, and we'll just have to make sure to set this page as the home page. Make sure it's enabled. Set that as the home page. Confirm it. Save. And then we'll go over to my site here. So now it'll switch from that regular page we created before over to this new construction or cover page that we just set up. And there you have it, a beautifully designed cover page or under construction page. So If you have any questions about getting a under construction page set up or you need any help, always reach out to me. I offer one-on-one training services to help you get your website up. Just a few things to remember about these under construction pages is always to make sure to disable all the other pages that you're working on your site. That way no one can access them when you're designing your site. You can also drag those pages, other pages of your site that you're working on, to the non-link section. That's just another kind of way to make sure that no one gets access to them. And lastly, in order to make this happen, you do need to have a Squarespace plan and an active domain on your site in order to make this happen. So there you have it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.